What's up, everybody? This is Gina Ifoe, the one and only African superstar, back at it again with another live stream. Now, I'm going to get into this topic today. Yes, I've kind of avoided this topic, but I'd say probably in the last week, I've gotten a couple messages asking me, what do I think about the passport bros and what do I think about, this whole dynamic. So today we're going to talk about it. Big shout outs, first of all, to the customers of theafrikansuperstar.com. Much love to everybody who has been supporting with www.theafrikansuperstar.com. Also, big shout outs to our members only, those that are designated by the circle next to their name. Special shout outs to our members only. And last but not least, those of you supporting our music project, those of you that have already purchased the EP, for others that have not yet, I'm going to need you to go do it today. Go do it today. Go do it today. The website is Bandcamp, BANDCAMP.com. You can type in the African Superstar, and my EP is called For Every Action There Is a Reaction. So please make sure, if you are into the music, if you've been enjoying some of my later tracks, Liar 2022, Come Chill With Me, Heartbreak Wednesday, For Every Action There's a Reaction, go ahead and cop the EP. You'll also get some new tracks that have not been released on their own yet, Shades and I Deserve, okay? Today I want to talk about this topic. I do remember 2019, 2020, there were a lot of ladies coming to the continent. And I remember there were a few platforms, some platforms associated with the manosphere and things like that, that were slamming women for coming to Africa looking for, men. And one of the things that women will often say, when it comes to why they have started looking beyond the US or why they have started coming to Africa, is they would say that the men here in, not just in Ghana, but across the continent are more masculine. They're more family oriented. They are willing to marry and, these kind of things that can be a challenge for men in the West. Consequently, there's this huge recent movement called the Passport Bros. And I think a lot of you guys probably have seen it. I mean, it's all over my feed. I don't know why. TikTok's been popping up, Facebook feeds and everything, about basically, gentlemen who have decided to, in a sense, it's just sex tourism. They're going to third world countries. They're going to Latin America. They're going to Asia. I don't know that they really come and do it here in Africa, but it seems that it's very prominent in Asia and Latin America. And basically they get women, in these locations, and they talk about how these women are feminine, how these women are soft, how these women are accommodating, and all of that. Now, one of the things that, in addition to people asking me my perspective on it, I did see a TikTok today from a lady who's in South Africa. And she made a really interesting point, which I definitely concur, which is women abroad, for the most part, women outside of the West, people in the Middle East, people in Africa, people in Asia, people in Latin America, are grown up being taken care of men, with often a lot of times that first person being their father, providing and taking care. There's a reason why, for instance, women in foreign countries are able to operate more in their feminine energy, is because they don't have to necessarily take on the role of masculine energy. They have a counterpart there that will provide that, and that allows a woman to be much more free. The interesting thing about this as well is that a lot of these men, there's a lot of foreigners in America. Hello. There's a lot of Latinos. There's a lot of Asians. There's definitely a lot of Africans. And what's interesting is, you may not, if you want a foreign woman, you don't have to go to another location. They go to this location. They're ready to spend on these ladies. They're ready to spend due to currency exchange, Yes. A little bit goes a long way in some of these, nations. So they're willing to spend those pesos and, whatever, to show these women a good time. in this particular video, this one was talking about how, you know, her passport bro prepares coffee for her and buys her clothes and this kind of thing. And I just wonder, I'm like, well, if men in the West would, you know, invest this kind of energy perhaps in the women that they have been involved with in the West, maybe they might get the same kind of reaction. Because I don't know too many women. Hello. Shout outs to the chat room. Do we have any ladies in the room? If we have any ladies, let me see a number one. What's up, family? Make sure you like the stream because I'm going to get into this today. I'm going to get into this topic today. You guys asked for it, so here it is. Do I have any ladies in the room? Let me see a number one. What's up, family? Shout outs to the African Superstar family. Do we have any ladies? Or is everybody watching me men? Okay, even better. If everybody watching me currently is men, there is not a woman that I have ever met in my entire life, as to include me, who doesn't enjoy being wined and dined. There's not one woman who doesn't enjoy, who doesn't say, no, I don't want you to pay for this dinner. Why in the hell did you buy me roses? You know, you bought me a gift, or you sent me some money, put some money in my bank account. I don't like it. Shout out to the family. Okay, we got one lady here. Carnisha, do you like being wined and dined? That's the question for the ladies. Any other ladies in the room? Do you like being wined or dined? Yes or no? You see, women and men, for the most part, we try to complicate things because we want to modernize everything. But men and women, you know, their needs are pretty simple. Now, I will give it to you. I think a lot of women in the West, unfortunately, have unrealistic expectations. They want a man who is doing exceptionally well. They want a man who has a lot of money, or they want a man who's very handsome or very accomplished. And, you know, sometimes the average guy would not be good enough for some of those women. However, there are really wonderful women, you know, feminine women, traditional women. And those women, I feel, are the ones that are going to the international community. Because, see, it's okay for the passport bros to go to Asia and in the Latin world to go look for women that they feel will give them whatever is needed. But when traditional women that are in the West can't find those counterparts, they're looking for the same exact stuff that the passport bros are willing to provide to foreign women. A man to come in, take them out, be kind to them, be romantic to them. You know, surely a woman is happy to operate in her role when a man can operate in his role. But what I see is a lot of these passport bros, I mean, they want to consider themselves high value, but the truth is they can't really measure up to women in their own environment. And that's why they have to go elsewhere. Women that are in the environment are not willing to lower their standards for the men that are available. You know, they're not willing to become a baby mama who's not going to be taken care of. Hello. They want a man who's going to matriculate the relationship. They want a man who is an alpha male, who's ready to, you know, take control of the household and relieve some of their pressures. And I know personally, you know, I've been approached on a few different occasions, because some of you guys may or may not know, I don't have children. Okay, so, you know, and I'm getting into my 40s now. So some men will say, well, Gina, you know, we could have a child. And, you know, and I'm like, but what about the family? What about getting married? What about the nuclear, you know, situation? Oh, well, I'm not ready for that. I'm not ready. Okay, well, if you can't give me a bit of commitment, I'm not willing to give you a baby. Are you serious? And so, you know, another thing I would like to point out is that obviously the passport bros, you see, because environment has a lot to do with it. You see, environment has a lot to do with how people respond. Shout outs to those of you that are African migrants, or you know African migrants, or even yourself. You know that when you were in your homeland, for instance, the way you operated was totally different because of the dichotomy of where you were versus when you got to America. You know, women here in Ghana, for instance, they get to be much more feminine. You know, I can definitely attest to being a woman here. I feel that the men, they take better care of ladies here, honestly. Not just a person maybe that you're dating, but just men in general. Unfortunately, a lot of men in the West have very strong negative feelings towards their own women. And what they want to do is they want to pedestalize these women in other countries when at the end of the day, these women are in poverty, huh? You know, they're out of options. Have any of the passport bros asked themselves why this super beautiful, submissive woman in Thailand is not married to any other Thai? Huh? Did you ask why this Brazilian woman, gorgeous, beautiful body, submissive, kind, why she's not married to any of her local people? Or you just think that you're just the one. You just think that you're just you know, a dream come true. And when you're not around, hello, you're going for sex tourism. Let's call it what it is. You're going for sex tourism. You're paying for a good time. If you went over there and you had zero, she wouldn't be hooking up with you. Okay? She wants to be wine and dine, and ultimately, a lot of them want the opportunity to go abroad. That's what they're gunning for. But when you're not around, the same things you're doing with her, do you not think that she's doing it with other people? Maybe even other passport bros. Do you not think that she has a local boyfriend? Hello. I brought this up because, again, there's a huge double standard. Because when some Black women that are in the same position and are like, you know what, you know, I'm not able to achieve my romantic goals in this Western environment. When they go elsewhere, those same dudes will be like, oh, he only wants you because you have a passport. You know, you're fat, you're ugly, you're undesirable. I would like to say that I'm here in Ghana, there's lots of diasporan people, you know, mostly diasporan women married to Ghanaian men. And you know what's interesting? A lot of African women also are not particularly interested in men from the West. Why is that? You know, there are people in the West that when they want to settle down, when, you know, Nigerian ladies want to settle down or Ghanaian ladies they come and get somebody from the homeland. I just think overall, the Western environment is a very toxic place. I think it's a place that's not really conducive for families. I think that, you know, both men and women have been groomed to be enemies instead of counterparts. And instead of us attacking the root cause as to why we're not compatible and why we are not being successful in our relationships, you know, we are outsourcing that. You know, and you know, you want to go to different countries and this and that and the other, not attacking the root cause. And I mean, for those of you guys that are passport bros or passport sisses, whatever, and you plan to migrate your new husband or wife back to the West, beware. Because when the dynamics change of where that person is, there's a heightened probability that they too will change. You see, when the passport bros go to these foreign countries, they don't go to the top universities and recruit beautiful women from there. They don't get women corporate, you know, women with well-paying jobs. They get women in poverty. Okay, a lot of times they get women that don't have a lot of prospects in their future. It is what it is. And what that means is when they get to the West and they have an opportunity perhaps to, you know, follow up their educational desires or get a job, get more income, that will change. They won't necessarily have to depend on the man in the same way that they did when they had nothing. You know, but the passport bros ain't stupid. They know that these women are in this situation. They know that. They know that these women, they basically want something for nothing is what they want. Because the women in their environment, you know, albeit I do concur, some of the women in the West, their standards are completely outlandish and unrealistic. But other women just have basic standards. I believe if the passport bros were doing the same things in the West with the women that are in their environment, they might have a better opportunity. Men don't want to alleviate the situation that women are in the West in terms of, you know, they want a 50-50 household, you know, see, versus their foreign woman doesn't work. You know, she's got time to cook and clean and, you know, all that stuff. She's got time to look good and maybe go to the gym and, you know, whatever, keep herself together, because she doesn't have to do the requirements. And I mean, I personally know there are some Black men, for instance, that their standards for Black women are extremely high. And then they would go, I remember there was one guy I knew. He wanted, you know, he felt like his girl needed to be this, whatever. And then he got with this white girl, sloppy, fat, you know, I don't even think she had a college degree. And he got her pregnant and married her. And one of his previous girls was a track star at University of Cincinnati, banging body, top of her class, you know, always put together. But he was, you know, she wasn't doing enough and she wasn't good enough. But this woman who was zero, you know, and so these are some of my thoughts. Let's go ahead and get into the comments so I can hear from the family. Today's first trivia question for the ladies: doesn't every woman like to be wined and dined? These passport bros, for some of you guys that don't know what it is, it's going viral right now. And basically it's men from the West, primarily America, visiting third world countries for sex tourism. And they get online and they make these videos as to, yeah, bro, get your passport, come over here to Brazil, come to Colombia, come here to Thailand and blah, blah, blah. And they show these women, you know, beautiful women. They're like, wow, this is what I was able to get. And, you know, she appreciates me and she's submissive and she cooks for me and da, 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 da. And they brag and they talk. And then at the same time, they also, many of them will also be obviously derogatory and condescending. You see, this sex tourism has been going on for a long time. White men been on this. It's AKA mail order brides. Think Donald Trump. Okay. Donald Trump was into Russian women. So he, you know, got himself a supermodel mail order bride. This is actually what white men been doing. You know, if you're ready, there's a phrase called pay to play. If you're ready to pay, you can play. If you was ready to pay in the US or the UK, you could play right there too. But the truth is they don't want to pay where they at, or they can't afford to pay where they at. So they got to go somewhere where they can, you know, get something for nothing. You know, you spend £100 in the UK, that's not a lot of money. You spend £100 in Thailand or Cambodia, it's going to get you a lot further. You know, now you can take her out. Now you can buy her a dress. Now you can, you know, do extra things for her in that setting that you couldn't do in your place. I bet if you was whining and dining again in the UK, you was whining and dining in Cali, you was whining and dining in Atlanta. I don't know anyone, just like Quanisha, I don't know any woman that's going to be like, no, I don't want to go on a date. No, I don't want to, you know, get these gifts from you. No, I don't like flowers. I don't know any woman. Most of what the women are voicing and complaining about is that the men don't want to be responsible. The men don't want to marry them. The men don't want to take care of their kids. The men don't want to go on dates. The men just feel like you should just worship me because I'm here. Because I'm here, and you should be fortunate that I'm here. And might I add, I mean, look, a lot of these passport bros, they have a very grandiose view of self because they see themselves to be this like amazing guy or this high earner, this like, you know, very entitled kind of man. In that case, if you were like that, then would you really have to pay for company in a foreign land with women that don't have other options? You know, now if you were with like I said, you're with the, the district attorney in Colombia, you're with the cabinet member, you're with the, top model in Brazil, and she's checking for you. Yeah, you probably bad. You probably, yeah, you might be, you might really be, but you're going to places where, as we call them here in West Africa, ashawos. You're doing prostitution. That's what you're doing. You're doing prostitution because the woman wouldn't rock with you if you weren't doing anything for her. So really, in essence, if you took this ideology and you looked at it in your current setting and was like, okay, when I'm in the West, I don't want to do anything for women. I don't want to take them out. I don't want to give them commitment. I don't want to, progress the relationship. I don't want to do anything. Maybe that's why these women are in the situation that they are. Now don't get me wrong. I know there's some combative women. I know there's some damaged women. I know there's some women that have been through trauma and, all this kind of thing. But I do also know that there are women that are ready and willing, will be good mothers and wives, and are ready to be team players. I also feel sometimes that a lot of men, because they want to be irresponsible, they also project this whole, independent woman thing on you. I've had men tell me, oh, well, I thought you were like this. I thought you was a diva. I thought you was like, I'm like, what are you, oh, I'm really surprised. Wow, Gina, you know how to cook. And wow, I didn't expect this from you. So that means that they're now blanket stereotyping people, I am independent because I gotta be. Because if I don't take care of myself, who will? But when that person comes into my arena and is willing to alleviate some of those pressures and stress, I'm very happy to have him there. And when a man wants to take me out and wine and dine me or buy me gifts and be thoughtful, I'm so appreciative of that. This is a pro-Black man platform. But the reality is a lot of our guys have issues. And I don't understand this gender war. It's crazy because Black women are leaving the West looking for partners and Black men are leaving the West looking for partners. And we're right there. Now definitely someone said that, if you are migrating to a foreign country and you're living in a foreign country, absolutely, it makes sense that, you will begin relationships or whatever with the local people. Makes perfect sense. And in that situation, perhaps the woman, you'll be able to keep the woman in her capacity, or if you marry on the continent, you'll be able to have your man in that capacity because the environment doesn't change. So what you see is what you get. If she's whining and dining you in Thailand, you live in Thailand, hey, it might be a happily ever after because the environment that has created how that person is going to be maintained. Now, I don't know if this is the case because, quite frankly, a lot of Americans in general, they're not in a position to live abroad. They haven't prepared themselves for living abroad. It's not anything that was ever promoted to us growing up. So it takes a lot of, logistics to get that. What I see and what a lot of these passport bros are they're doing sex tourism. Okay, they're going to DR, they're going to Brazil for the guys' trip for the weekend. And going to look for women to hook up with. If they really believe they're going to find the love of their life on the street in the red light district, I don't know. All right, let me go ahead and do these shout outs. What's up, family? If you are in the building, today I'm talking about the double standards, because when the passport bros go abroad, that one of their selling points, these women are beautiful, they're feminine, they cook, they're not masculine, they're very submissive. And when the, women are like, yeah, the minimum masculine. Then they slim. I've seen several Black American men get offended by the fact that women have said, yeah, I find the men more masculine in Africa. I find that they take care. And, I agree that I believe they take care. I've actually known that for a very long time. I've been dating in the international community, and even when I lived in the West, obviously my ex-husband was Cameroonian. I actually have not dated a Black American person in a long time, because the last time I dated him for quite a long time, and it was like the relationship was just not moving forward, and I was just like, okay, this is a bit foreign, because in foreign relationships, marriage, children, all those things are milestones. Eventually your relationship gets to that point. But I see that people in the West, they just get stuck where they are a lot of times. And I mean, I really believe that if, some of these guys, for instance, were willing to treat the women in their environment the way they're ready to treat foreign women, then they would find that they can get the same results. Because again, every woman likes to be wined and dined, and love is a very powerful thing. In the words of Al Green, it'll make you come home early. It'll make you stay late at night. Love can make you want to do stuff. And when you feel secure and you feel comfortable and you feel taken care of, it makes you want to do everything. It makes you want to iron his shirts. It makes you want to, wear sexy lingerie for him. It makes you want to give him that back rub, because you just feel like, man, this guy is taking care of me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't have to worry. When you want to go out to your car and you see he's warmed it up on a cold, January morning, he's already cleared off the car when he went to work. You know what I'm saying? He's looking after you. When you see him in the middle of being a father to your children, and you see him being hands-on, all that stuff is like an aphrodisiac. But the brothers, they don't want to do that kind of stuff. At least not where they are. They're ready to do it for some foreign women who they don't really know. They don't really know the roots of where that interest is coming from. So we're going to talk about it tonight. Brown Coat Blue is in the building. What's up? Quanisha Jones is here. She says, don't know any woman who doesn't like to be wined and dined. It's the universal language for, I'm interested in you and I want your attention, or I want to get with you, or whatever. You do what? Wine and dine. I think probably what needs to happen with modern day men and women in the West is we kind of need to get back to the basics of how men and women should interact. What has worked, what doesn't work. There was a time, for instance, in the US where women were more submissive, or whatever, as you want to say. Some men will say, oh, my grandmother used to do this, but you do what your grandfather used to do? I remember my grandmother in America, she, her husband, my grandfather, was the breadwinner. I remember my grandfather worked 2 jobs to bring the bacon home. She was a teacher, but then, after, when she retired, she didn't work. He paid for the house. He paid for all the kids' college education. He bought the cars. You know what I mean? So grandma could prepare those Thanksgiving dinners. She wasn't juggling like, oh, shoot, I got to be at work tomorrow. How am I going to do this? How am I going to do this? I got to take the kids to, this and that. I got to do. No, she was able to operate in her function. My grandfather, proposed to her, married her, took her on dates, took her on holidays. He did. So we like to talk about how women used to be back in the days when their situation was different. But we don't like to talk about what the men were doing, creating that atmosphere. Big shout out. Caesar Music says, I just feel everyone should do what they want. Passport bros can go wherever, women can go wherever. Indeed, again, like I said, sex tourism is not new. Okay, sex tourism happens here on the continent too. One of the places heavily affected by that is Gambia. Okay, a lot of Europeans go to Gambia, a lot of Europeans go to Kenya, and they do sex tourism. Okay, old ladies be going to the Gambia, getting young African men for sex, paying them, blah, blah, blah. When I went to Kenya, always tons of European men coming to Kenya to get the young girls, spending 50 pounds. The young girls like, wow, this guy's rich. And the guy's like, woo, I saved. I get a whole night or weekend with this woman taking care of me in my beck and call for less than a pair of trainers. Sex tourism is not new, but I think black men are getting introduced to it, and they're making a lot of noise. Again, if you are doing what you do and it's working out for you, you don't need to blow the whistle. You know, nobody on my channel, for instance, has ever heard me say publicly a bad thing about black men ever on my platform. I live here in Ghana. I don't centralize it around the fact that, oh, black American men ain't man enough and they're not good enough and this and that and the other. I'm just here doing what I got to do. You know, I didn't particularly move to Ghana for a man. I moved here because I love it here. You know, if he comes, he comes. If he doesn't, he doesn't. You know, but I also recognize what is happening in a global sense. You know what I mean? Big shout outs to the family. What's up, Science Plays? I see you there. Shoshana, it was a passport, bro. Shoshana, you went to Uganda to get your African man. We see how that's working out. She's happy. You see her surname? You see her surname? Yeah, she got married. And now she lives in Uganda. Shout outs. She says African men are pro-marriage. American guys are more commitment phobe. You know, and I have to say, I mean, in addition, all this baby mama, baby drama, baby daddy stuff, you know, that isn't a Western thing. You know, people in other countries are not comfortable just procreating and leaving their kids to the wind and just not being involved with them and just not being a family unit. You know, for most of these people, the cart comes before the horse. You're getting married straight up. Then the kids come, as it should be. You know, so you have that family unit intact. You don't even have to worry about, are you going to take care of me and our children? Because, you know, the marriage has already been established. The commitment's already been established. There are good men and bad men, good women, bad women all around the world. But I would definitely say that here on the continent, people are more family oriented, you know, and they are more mindful about procreating and how that's going to work. Having babies out of wedlock is still like frowned upon out here. You know, people know that there's a responsibility associated with their kids and that they got to be ready to do it, you know, when that situation arises or whatever. Big shout outs. What's up? TK says all of them are the same. Leave them where they at. Leave them in the Western Africa. Just leave them. Have fun. Be free natured. Caesar Music says, I think the dudes are just looking for love, and if they find it over there, they will stay over there. Well, I tell you what, if you're paying to play, if you're whining and dining, the women are going to do all. Listen, the passport bros are not understanding. They're paying for what they're getting. The women are not pampering them when they're not doing anything for them. Okay? That is how culturally it works. Okay? You provide the security, you provide the household, you provide this and that, and I provide this and that for you. What they want in the West is not to provide what they're supposed to provide. Not give you the commitment, you know, not give you the assurance, not wine and dine, but still expecting you to be fawning all over them and pampering them, or in some cases, even taking care of them. And that is why I always talk about mutuality. Okay? You can get what you want out of me when I can also get what I want out of you, but it can't be a one-sided thing. And that's what we don't want to face. We don't want to face that. You know? So, I mean, again, if you think that you're going to meet your Princess Charming in the red light district, you know, and actually, I mean, these guys, they should have standards for themselves as well. You know, is beauty what you want? Is that all you need? You know, you're ready to take someone who's impoverished and desperate, perhaps, to, you know, that's, you know, what you want. I don't know. Yeah, I've kind of gone over that brown coat blue, what the passport bros are. Again, a lot of them, they're not living abroad. They go and do these sex trips. You know, I think people living abroad having relationships where they are, I mean, duh. Duh. You know what I mean? It is what it is. And again, if that's what you're doing, you don't have to necessarily slam, you know, whatever. Have you seen me get on here and be like, yeah, I'm kicking it with Fifi. He's the man. He's a macho man. He's better than everybody in America. You guys suck. You guys are this, that, blah, blah, blah. He's this and that. Or, I mean, no, it's not necessary. Okay. If you've met someone in your environment and you're happy with them and they're meeting your needs and they're providing you what you want and need and all that, there's no need to just, you know, just degrade other people. You know, so for me, it says they have a point to prove, you know, and they're probably really whack because only whack people are like, yeah, I told you, look at this, look at that. You know, y'all didn't want me. A lot of the guys there are people that have been rejected in the past, quite frankly, you know, and they're frustrated about it. They feel like they should, you know, be able to get good girls. You know, a lot of them, maybe they have good careers, they're earning well, and they feel like I should be able to get a woman now because I have money. You know, so it's kind of their way of taking a shot because oh wow, I've gone to Brazil and I've gotten this, you know, incredibly beautiful woman, great look, great body. She's cooking for me. She's taking care of me. Yeah, but you're paying. You're paying for that. You know, if you get sick or lose your job, do you think she's going to be loving you like that? She's probably going to move on to the next passport bro who can, you know, support her lifestyle or whatever. Big shout outs. What's up? What's up? What's up? Caesar says white men been doing this. Even white billionaires been it's fast. And you once again, you don't see them getting on social media, you know, calling all their homies, you know, to get in on this. Let's get the lights up, guys. What's up, Sarah C? Big shout outs. What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up, Miss Baby Girl? She says, independent by necessity. There are a lot of women in the West that are tired of having to manage their own affairs. They will be very happy and welcoming for a partner to come into their life or a man to come in there and say, baby, you don't got to work no more. Baby, you know, you can work part-time or I'm going to, you know, take care of this and that and blah, blah, blah. You know, let's get married. Let's have a family. You know, I want to take you on a date Friday night, baby. I bought you this dress. You know, come on. There's lots of women that want it. Lots of women. At the end of the day, a lot of these cats, they don't want their own people. They have issues with their own people. They have self-hate issues. To blanket all black women and say that they are this and that is false. You know, the same way to say for a woman to blanket all black men and say he's this way or that way. It's not true. So basically just say, I don't want these women, you know, I want something else. And this something else is going to make me feel better about myself because I have low self-esteem and I have self-hate issues. You know, men that are comfortable in their skin, they don't mind marrying a counterpart from their community. They don't see that as a downgrade. They actually see it as normal. And there are even some men that they prefer their own people. They prefer their own people. They're like, yeah, like people like me. That's like, yeah, I'm not going to date outside it. I mean, for what? You know, there's plenty of options in the black umbrella. So it's not necessary. Big shout outs to the family. What's up, sweetheart? Thank you so much for being here. This is definitely worth sharing to others. Perfect dialogue and explanation on black men, black women, double standards. Yeah, because when black American women say, hey guys, in America, which I mean to a certain degree is true. A lot of black men are emasculated. A lot of black men are feminine. They behave, their mannerisms, their outlook and everything. And I mean, a lot of that I did a video in the past. A lot of black men, unfortunately, are being raised by women. You know, and so they have not been able to get that masculine energy that they need or that know how to understand. And also, a lot of them have not seen the family unit. They don't even know what they're supposed to be doing as men in the household. They don't even know. They don't even know how to move it along. That's stuff that they should be learning from their dad. You know, I know, guys, there's a clear difference. You know, I've talked about it before. Men that are raised around their fathers or with male influences versus men that are not. You know, men that are raised with their fathers have a little bit more insight of how to deal with a woman, how to handle a family setting. And they will be, you know, it was my experience that men that, you know, grew up in a healthy household and stuff, they're not adverse to getting married. They want to get married. They want to have kids. You know, they know exactly what they're supposed to do. You know, so they're not scared to, you know, commit or whatever. They want to do things the right way. Big shout outs to the family. Shoshana, she's one of them passport sisses. Huh? She moved to Uganda and she's got herself an African husband. And it says, my husband built us a house. Hello? 4-bed, 2-bath, masculine and handy. Huh? And you know, I see Shoshana. She's my Facebook friend. She be in the kitchen. She be cooking. Huh? She be cooking. She got time to be on YouTube. She be looking after herself, looking good. Her husband is doing his role, so it allows her to do her role. Okay? If they were in America and he was demanding 50-50 from her, he expects her to go to work, plus take care of the kids, plus cook, plus pay, you know, half the bills and all that stuff. She's going to have a lot less energy, and she might even start resenting him. Because she might be like, it's not fair. You know, it's not fair. All your requirements are be here, be the man, be here, go home, bring half the money. I have to also go bring half the money, plus take care of the kids, plus take care of you, plus cook, plus clean. And if you want a woman to be more feminine, I'm going to tell y'all a secret right now. Shout outs to the African Superstar family. This is a secret, okay? For all the men out there that want to know how to make a woman, you know, respond to them, I'm going to tell you what to do. If you want to hear my secret, let me see a number 2. I'm going to continue with shout outs. I got this secret. What's up, family? Roadways Back to Africa for African says, Western psychology teaches agreeable, not being submissive. Usually result in better women, and no one should sell their soul for any reason. Big shout out to you for that. YPK says, this is a very important topic for discussion. This whole conflict or whatever between Black men and women is very worrying. This is the time we really need to stick together. What's up, family? Please make sure you're hitting the likes. You can also show some super chat support if you like this topic, because I see that there's a lot of animosity, just like YPK is talking about animosity. We just need to just be honest about it, okay? And we need to get to the root cause. Women can be women and operate in their, you know, parameters when that environment is set. You know, if a woman is having to wear many hats and balance all this stuff, of course, she's going to be different than the woman who doesn't have to. You know, I'll give you like a little analogy. So obviously I've been here in Ghana. I came back at late November. Okay. When I was in the UK, I was doing a warehouse job. Okay. I was exhausted. I didn't even have time to do my hair. I didn't have time to really go to the gym. I was stressed out. It was like so annoying. The other day, I just went to the nail shop on Friday, and my nails were so long. They were like the longest they have been in months. Now, when I was going to the nail salon in the UK, every 2 weeks, I would have a crack on my nail. Okay, because I was doing a lot. I was working hard. You know, I was cooking. I would wash dishes sometimes, and it was just like, bruh, you know, I was doing a lot. And because I was doing so much, I had less time to primp and, you know, take care of myself and go to the gym and do my hair and be pretty, and I was in a bad mood. Okay. The secret, let me see if there was any number twos before I'm about to tell y'all the secret. Anybody want that number two secret? All right, Sweet Tea does. The secret is, if a man wants a woman to be more relaxed, he needs to alleviate some of her pressures. Okay? Alleviating some of her pressures makes her softer. You know, it could be as simple as she's talking to you about, oh my gosh, my lawnmower broke and now I don't know how I'm going to, get the grass cut or whatever. And you say, you know what? I got a great lawn guy. I'm going to send him over to your place tomorrow. Don't worry about it. I have a good friend of mine. His favorite phrase that he says to me is, I'm happy to help. Sometimes I talk to him about different problems and he's like, oh, Gina, I'm happy to help. Birthday gifts every birthday, holiday. He, has supported my music project. He watches my YouTube channel, and it's just like, oh, and when I'm with him, I just feel so much more relaxed. If you want a woman to be softer, reduce the pressures on her. That's how you get her to be softer. That's why the women in these foreign countries are softer. Okay? That is why they're more feminine. That is why they're happy to cook for you and happy to take care of you, because guess what? They've grown up in environments where, first of all, the men have been taking care of them. Okay? Alleviating some of their pressures and stress. If she goes to cry, her big brother's going to help her. Her uncle's going to help her. Her daddy's going to help her. Her grandfather's going to help her. Okay. There were things she never even had to worry about growing up because the men in her life were providing it. And instead of our men in the West providing that same dichotomy, and again, I don't absolve. I do understand the independent movement and all this stuff in the West, feminism, and there are definitely some difficult women and all that stuff. But again, as a man, if you are the genesis of the community, let me just talk to my brothers. Y'all know I'm pro male here, okay? But I just want to be honest with you. As a man, you are the genesis of the community. When the community is going awry, look at your position to be played. You as a man can set the standard. You as a man have a lot of influence, and instead of promoting your bros, hey guys, let's just vacate this place and, we can't be bothered with these people here. Why don't we say, the detriment that is happening to our community is unfortunate. Let's try to address it. That's what a real man would do. Even a real man in any situation, a real man is like, let's get to the bottom of it. That's what a real man does. Even if, shout outs to all the ladies out there have ever dated or married a real man. That's what a real man does. Even if you guys are having a fight, there's some confusion in the house, there's some kind of like dispute maybe with a neighbor or something like that. Your man comes in there and is like, okay, you know what? What's going on? Everybody calm down. What's the problem? Why are you acting up? Let's solve this. That's what a real man does. Okay, that's exactly what a real man does. A real man doesn't just be like, you know what, I can't deal with her. I'm out of here. I'm leaving. These kids getting on my nerves. I'm out of here. I'm having trouble at work. I quit. That's not what a real man does. A real man looks at the situation and tries to fix it. Some examples of real men: Malcolm X, Dr. Martin Luther King, Marcus Garvey, Thomas Sankara, Kwame Nkrumah, Gaddafi, Magufuli. These are people that say, hey, look, let's start looking at this thing from the ground up and trying to find solutions. They could have easily said, hey, let me just leave my homeland. Thomas Sankara could have been like, man, Africa's really jacked up right now. I'm going to just leave. You know, Gaddafi could have been like, well, you know, I'm rich. I'm so rich. I can go live in Dubai. I could do anything I wanted. No. Marcus Garvey could have been like, I'm tired of these black people. They don't listen to me. I'm just going to stop preaching this message. No. Malcolm X knew his life was in danger. He still kept talking the message. You know, these are examples of real men that decided to address the problems they were confronted with. And outsourcing is not always the solution. You know, you just want to medicate the symptoms to the problem. You know, like I said, if you are a passport bro and a passport sis and you plan to import your, you know, foreign lover to the West, get ready. Get ready, because the environment's going to be different. And there's a high probability that that environment may change and impact the person that you're dealing with. Shout outs to the family. Big shout outs to this what is this? Crenshaw Grinder says, go get an African man. We build whole subdivisions around here. These passport bros are ex-military, and you cannot be more masculine than that. You build in the military. Well, definitely be one. Big shout outs. What's up? What's up? What's up? Absolutely. I mean, you know, the proof is in the pudding. I'm trying to catch up on these. This is my whole point. This sums up the whole point of the video. You know, at the end of the day, people are going to do whatever they want to do. But I feel that putting other people down because you have decided to do something else is absolutely ridiculous. You know, and it really, in my opinion, it shows insecurity, you know, because it's like you feel the need to be acknowledged and express this. It actually doesn't really matter. You know, if you feel that you're more compatible with other people, and, you know, listen, I'm from the old school. It ain't tricking if you got it. Okay, it ain't tricking if you got it. You know what I mean? And I think it's 50 Cent. He got a lyric that says, I treat you good because I'm rich. So that means, hey, look, I'm balling. I'm doing my thing. I personally feel like any man that I'm dealing with, I go out of my way to treat him well. You know what I'm saying? I'm not making it rain on him, but I want him to feel very special. I want him to understand, hey, I'm chose you. Like, I'm with you. And other men don't get the same privileges you get with me. Other men don't get the same access. I firmly believe it ain't tricking if you got it. But again, you don't ever see me here on this channel degrading Black American men, degrading Black British men. I even did a video on as to how I found Black British men attractive until I moved there. Very tasteful, very respectful. You know, they're, you know, maybe not my preference, or I didn't have success in that market. No big deal. But these passport bros are, you know, and it's crazy because some of the foreign ladies, they're now on social media. Some of these Thai and Brazilian women, and they're like, yo, we think it's crazy how Black American men come here and degrade their own women. They, you know, and it's a red flag to some women. They're like, wow, he's coming here and talking about how he doesn't do this and he doesn't do that and ain't this and that, you know, and he's got all these grievances against Black men. And I mean, you know, I personally wouldn't want to deal with somebody like that, because that means default. That means I'm only with you because I couldn't really get perhaps what I wanted or what I feel entitled to. So I'm taking you as a default, basically. You know, and no man or woman wants to feel like that. No man or woman wants to feel like, hey, you're my last resort because what I really wanted, I couldn't get. You know, please get the likes up, guys. Let's get the likes up to like 20. Because y'all watching me and y'all hear me. Hello. So let's get the likes up in the building. What's up, family? Big shout outs. What's up? What's up? What's up? We must have, he must be a passport bro. He's singing the praises of these women. All I want to say, bro, passport bro, is if you wasn't paying to play with these women, okay? If you aren't willing to pay, would they be pampering you the way that they do? Okay. Even here, well, I don't know about here in Ghana, but even in America or the UK, they have these like massage parlors, right? Go in them massage parlors without any money and see if they're going to give you a deep tissue massage. You got to pay for everything in life. If you're willing to pay for foreign women, why wouldn't you pay for women in your own environment and see how that works out? You know, but for some reason you don't want to pay where you at. You feel like you don't have to or whatever. You rather get these other ladies. I mean, that's your prerogative, but whatever. I'm just saying, you know, when women come to Africa and they do the same thing, these same passport bros will be like, yeah, they only want you because of this and that. You know, why couldn't you get a man where you was at? And it's a double standard. I would like to propose the same question to the passport bros. There's lots of foreign women in America. Tons. So why you can't get a Latina in America? Why you can't get a Thai woman in America? Probably them standards is more high. Probably they don't want to date outside of their race or whatever there. If they genuinely had a deep desire for you, that would be across the board. Wherever you are, you wouldn't have to go to third world countries in the red light district and go get these ladies and pay to get their attention and affection. You're paying for it. You're absolutely paying for it. Paying for a plane ticket, paying for accommodation, maybe paying for a visa. I don't know about how that goes. Paying for your passport, paying to take her out, or whatever other payments you're doing. Paying. If you were paying for women in America, paying for women in the UK, you could get the same. But see, it takes a lot more money in the West, huh? It takes a lot more money to flex. They feel that they're high value men. Well, I mean, can't you get a girl in the US? If you're a high value man, if you want to pay to play in your own neighborhood. Why you gotta get on a plane to pay to play? I'm just saying. I'm just saying. You do what you want to do. But that's how I see it. I'm like, well, you know, because I mean, at least the white passport bros I saw in Kenya, I thought to myself, yeah, it's quite obvious why you're hitting the friendly skies. Because nobody's going to be interested in you in the UK. That's why you're coming to Nairobi, you know, because what is attractive about you, you know, Mr. Potbelly, Mr. Very Short, Mr. You know, bad breath, or, you know, receding hairline or whatever, is the money. That's what's attractive. That's why the chicks want to be with you. Do you ever notice why some of these rich guys, you know, they got the fanciest cars, they got the biggest mansions, you know, they got all kind of toys, they got a helicopter, they got this and that, because they know for a fact that they have deficiencies. They know that based off of character or appearance alone, they couldn't attract women. So they need to get all the trinkets and all of that stuff that's going to attract them. You know, trust me, when you see a 25-year-old woman with an 80-year-old man, it's not, you know, his bedside manner that got her attention. Okay? It's the same universal principle. It's just the truth. And I don't know why, you know, again, telling yourself the truth is cool. Saying, you know what, look, I'm going to go out here and trick in Puerto Rico. I'm ready to pay for some action. That's being real and understanding, yeah, because I pay, I'm going to get it my way. You know, ain't nothing wrong with that. You know, I know recently, you know, I'm a music star. Shout out to the Afrikansuperstar family. I'm a music star for any of my viewers that don't know. Yes. Go check my music video called Come Chill With Me. And I'll tell y'all a little story about Come Chill With Me. So for Come Chill With Me, I got a model, right? And so I told my videographer team what kind of model I want. Okay, so he needs to be over 6 feet tall, dark skinned, muscular, right? That's my type with a beard. That's what I like. Obviously, if you look, over a few of the guys that you guys know that I've dated, that's what they look like. So that's what I wanted. So when he showed up to the music video, I was like, look, I'm paying for this music video. So we're going to do it my way. You feel me? And I really enjoyed that music video shoot. But the point is that when you pay, you're going to get it your way. I can't generalize them, but I mean, unfortunately, a lot of them are doing the same kind of things and saying the same kind of things. All you got to do is go to YouTube and type in Passport Bros, and you're going to see all your friends. You're going to see a bunch of your friends out there making these kind of videos. And one of the underlying reasons that they are going is for the women. And one of the reasons it's a trend is for the women. It's not because they've ever wanted to go to Colombia or Dominican Republic. They want a beach getaway, huh? They really love Thai food and they want to go try Thai. No. They're being influenced by other guys promoting them to go do this. They're going for the win. They're going for the sex tourism. I would say that the Passport Bros that have been doing this previously, that really haven't, it's only getting viral at the moment. There's been men that have been doing this for decades. And like you talked about military men, military men, Passport Bro originators, because they're stationed in these foreign countries and beginning relationships with the local ladies and stuff like that. And I mean, still same thing. When the local ladies would come to the base, they want to get a military guy. Why? Well, because he's well paid. He's a part of the military. They can have an American baby. That motivation, guys. Motivation. As soon as we understand that life is really reap and sow, you can get a lot more of what you want when you're ready to put in. The problem is when you want things for free. Okay? You don't want to put in, but you expect all of this output. Okay? So big shout outs to the family. What's up? Pay these bills and act nicely. Everything hot, soft. Listen, I'm telling y'all guys in America, listen, if you just alleviate some stress up off of the women, you can't tell me there ain't no beautiful girls in America. That's a lie. Okay? There's beautiful girls. There's girls at your gym. There's girls at the pubs and nightclubs. There's girls online. There's girls all around you. Okay? The problem is that you don't want to take the same methodology that you're using out in the foreign world and apply it in your local area. Because you would be surprised. You will be surprised. How you start, again, and not these difficult women, a good woman. There's lots of good women out there. There's lots of good girls out there. Okay. Why is it that they can go, for instance, they can come to Africa and find a husband like Shoshana and live happily ever after? Why? If they're so defective, if everybody's so defective in America, then they wouldn't be able to matriculate elsewhere. Start addressing the root cause. That's what I would really love. That's the takeaway of this video. Start exercising these things where you are. Some things are in the environment you are in. In my work environment neighborhood, more than 90% of the Black men and women are married and married to Black people. Big shout outs. What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up, Mika? What's up? Look, people trying to be. This is not related to my topic, fam. Oh boy. You need to start by copping my EP, fam. Cop the EP, bro. Cop the EP. Cause I don't know. I'll look for you on TikTok. Okay. I'll look for you on TikTok. Big shout outs to the African Superstar family. Yes. So that was tonight's topic. I just felt like I would, try to share my perspective. Obviously, I always try to be the voice of reason. I think, the gender war is so stupid. And, we just have people that are so hurt that they just want to look outward. They want to blame each other. Black women are blaming black men. Black men are blaming black women. And like I said, you're seeing black men and black women leaving the West and looking and exploring their options, for instance, in the international community. And it's just like, okay, why don't we try to hone in on what is going on here? I'm pretty sure if you were making babies in Thailand that you were just rejecting and not taking care of, I'm pretty sure they wouldn't like it there. I'm pretty sure the Thai women wouldn't be happy. I'm pretty sure if you were out in Thailand and you didn't have any money and you moved up in her house and you started expecting her to take care of you, and she goes out from being on the red light district and she comes in and you like, baby, did you cook something for me? Huh? I don't think she would be hyped about that. You know what I mean? The big booty Brazil girl that you like, if you came to her and you was like, look, it's gonna be 50-50 on this date. Do y'all do that stuff in Brazil to the passport bros? Do y'all do that? Do y'all go half Dutch? Because from what I'm seeing from the couple clips I've seen, these guys are whining and dining over there. So I'm like, okay, if you kept that same energy, you might get a bit more what you want, right where you at. It's more convenient to go down the street. Or since you're ready to travel, you live in California, you can get a girlfriend in New York, Florida, Texas. There's women all over the states. And I refuse. I'm like, all the women are not jacked up. All the women are not. So that's a nice topic. Big shout outs to everybody who was in the building. Please, for those of you in the replay, let me hear your comments below. I'm pretty sure the passport bros will then converge up on my channel, because obviously whenever anybody talks about it, it's like they get so defensive. Being defensive is a great indication that I've hit the nail on the head, because you should be able to discuss this, maturely and calmly, the same way I have done throughout this entire video. There's faults on both sides of the key, but we're not doing a great job. Everybody's not doing a great job. And if your preference is someone else, I live here in Ghana and I love Ghanaian men, but it doesn't require me to degrade other men. I have lots of Black American men that watch me. I don't think that they feel that I degrade Black American men or Black British men. No. You know what I mean? Just because I'm here and I'm enjoying the people that are in my environment doesn't mean that other people are defective or inferior. It doesn't matter. It's the same way you've dated people in the past. Then you go on Facebook, you see they're married with 3 kids. So the relationship didn't work out with the two of you, but they found someone and settled down and have a family. You see what I'm saying? So that doesn't mean that the person that it didn't work out for you, or you couldn't get them or whatever, is bad. They may just not be compatible. They may just not be a good fit. Or it may not have been the right time. So degrading each other is very stupid. And we're the only people that do it. And now these people in foreign countries, these foreign women are now starting to speak up and say, hey, it's kind of annoying how, Black American men slam their women to us. And they think that's supposed to be a selling point. It's like, yeah, I'm with you because you're exotic. So shout out to the family. What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? Charles says, as an African based in Illinois who has dated Black women, both sides need to exercise patience for one another rather than quit at the slightest problem in the relationship. I agree. I think a lot of what is going on is because we don't want to just attack the root cause as to what is happening. At the end of the day, men need to step up in the West and women need to calm down. But in order for women to calm down, they have to have the security that safety net's going to be there. You can't ask a woman who is used to bearing this pressure of, you know, everything's on me and I got to take care of the family and I got to take care of the kids and I got to pay all the bills, to just trust you and just relinquish all of that pressure unless you provide the vehicle for her to do that. You know, it's called a little this or that. You know what I mean? You need to always provide. This is something that I learned, and I'm going to wrap up here. Please, guys, make sure you hit the likes. What's up? Something I've learned is that when you come with like a perhaps you come with a solution. All right. So let's just say, you know, this is a thing that my little sister and I used to deal with. We used to share a car. Okay. And we used to share a car, and there were times when, you know, there would be conflicts because, you know, she needs the car this Friday night, and I also want the car Friday night, you know. So we would sit down and would try to map out the usage of the car. We would alternate each other weekends. And, you know, me as the big sister, I would say, okay, you know, if she would say, well, I really, really need the car this day, and it would be like that my day. You know, I would say, you know what, I'm going to give you, you know, $20 for a taxi cab that day. Or I'm going to drop you off and pick you up. You know, it's either or, you know. So when you step to somebody, you want them to change the way they operate. You know, you negotiate and you guys come to a consensus. Okay, this is what, you know, I can suggest for this problem. Or this is this is that, this is this is that. You know, you can't just step to a person and be like, well, I need a car Friday night, and that's it. You know, when the two of you guys are sharing a car, you don't want her to start resenting you. You don't want her to take the car and not bring it back, you know, because we used to have, I mean, our schedule was on point. You know, she would go to work in the morning. She would pick me up from school. I was at ITT Tech at the time. And then when I finished school, I bring the car back. She takes it, blah, blah. You know, that's how we operated it. So we both could maximize our usage of the car. You know, and I think we need to begin to do this with each other and say, look, I know that you've been through something. Okay. What I would love to see from Black men is some accountability. Yeah. Yeah. I would love to see them say, look, I'm here. I'm in the building. You know, I'm going to be your man. We're going to do this thing together. You can trust me. You know what I mean? And as he says that stuff, then he starts delivering that stuff. Because it's not all just about talk. It's about walking the walk. And as you and your partner, because there's a lot of distrust between Black men and Black women. So once that accountability has started to weigh in, then you can, you know, the walls naturally start coming down because you think to yourself, I can trust this person. I can trust this woman. I can trust this man. You know, but until we do that and we decide we want to outsource and, you know, we want to look everywhere else instead of, you know, and I mean, some Black women are going outside. And again, I mean, in my opinion, a lot of why they're doing this, it's motivated. It's malicious. It's just like they want to prove a point, you know, because it's just like, well, I haven't had success with Black men. Black men didn't treat me well. So now I'm going to get this white man. Now I'm going to get this Asian and I'm going to prove this point, you know. But I think that if we started looking at each other and investing in each other and letting each other know, look, you can, I'm going to do this with you. You know, I'm in it with you. Like, we're going to do this thing together. And then demonstrating that. It provides comfort. It provides, you know, I mean, that's what turns me on. As a man that is very precise. And he lets me know, look, this is what it is. You know, my ex-husband, that's exactly how he got me. Because when I met, you know, we knew each other for a while. And when he, you know, he started letting me know at the time, I'm serious, I'm wrapping up. I'm wrapping up. But he started, you know, leading up to it. One thing so So I knew him. I knew him for about a year before we started dating. We would see each other at like events and stuff like that. So I knew him and I knew his friends and stuff like that. And one day he came to me and he's like, "Oh wow, how have you been? I know you were in school and this." I said, "Yeah, I've graduated now." And he's like, "Wow." And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm working." And he's like, "Wow." He was impressed that I had been, that I had accomplished some things from the last time we talked. And he knew I was very active at my church at that time. And he said, "Well, can I come to church with you this weekend?" And I said, "Oh yeah, that's cool." So, let's shout outs to ladies. Ladies know getting guys to go to church is really, really hard. So I was like, wow, he wants to come to church with me. So we go to church and he looked good as hell. My ex-husband was fine, of course, naturally. So he looked really good and, was dressed nice and everything. And all the girls at my church were like, "Wow, who's this guy?" And, "Oh, that's my friend, da, da, da." So I remember that day when we were filling out the tithes and offering, I said, "Oh, I don't even know your surname." And he said to me, "Oh, it's going to be your surname soon." And I said, "Oh, okay." Yeah, he was a sweet talker, guys. Yeah, he was definitely, I'll give him that. So I say within a few weeks of that, he said to me, he just came right out and he said, "Gina, I want to date you exclusively. You know, um, I really like, who you are, and, you're very progressive and I like that." And, he just told me straight up what it was going to be. And I love that, and when he made the decision, I didn't know, but he was leading up to making the decision to propose. He told me, he said, "I want to go and meet your parents. Let's go sit down with your parents." Came to meet my parents, brought a bottle of wine to meet my parents, was well dressed and, had a great, and my mom was immediately in love with him, and I'm saying that it was that decisiveness that I loved. "I want to be with you. This is what we're going to do. Let's meet your parents." And bam, bam, bam. And I mean, he got me because I was like, yes. And I can say that, we were not compatible in terms of, I wanted to leave the US and he wanted to live in the US. But as a husband, excellent husband. I didn't worry about anything. He took care of my car. He paid the bills in our house. He came home every single night. I mean, I felt secure with him as my husband. I never had to worry about, is he going to do this? Is he going to do that? And consequently, I understand, hey, our marriage didn't work out, but he's still a good man. He's a good man. He's a good man for someone else. And that's what it is. And that's maturity. Maturity is understanding, hey, this situation didn't work out for me and this person. That doesn't mean all Black men are bad. That doesn't mean all Black women are bad. For me, there's just nothing else. After a divorce and some other breakups, I mean, it's still my choice. It's all I can have. It's all I want. So I would say that these passport bros, something's wrong with you, fam, because, I mean, again, I have had my ups and downs with Black men, but personally, it's still just my preference. I just can't see anything else. And I mean, quite frankly, man, I've been talking for a long. This is a heavy topic. But quite frankly, like, Black women is it. Like, we're the pinnacle woman, for real. So I feel that way also about Black men. Some Black women will be like, "Oh, we're just so loyal to Black men." It's not really that, in my opinion. It's that Black men are the superior man. So there is nothing else. Once you've experienced a superior man, stepping down is not going to satisfy you. And truth be told, a lot of people in these interracial relationships, they're not really happy. They're not really happy. I know women in interracial relationships and they're not happy. They're not satisfied sexually. They're not intellectually compatible. They feel that their husband or wife can't relate to them. They feel like the parenting, there's deficits in the parenting. There's problems with the family, the cultural differences. I mean, Even one lady I know, she was saying, she was talking about how old her man looks. I remember this nurse that I used to work with in the UK. She was from, where was she from? Kenya. She married a white man who was like 2, 3 years younger than her. And she was talking about how he was just getting so old, and how, when they talk, when they take pictures, they look like funny nowadays. So I'm like, as for me, I don't feel like I'm making excuses for black men. I just feel like I can't step down. I mean, and I feel like I only need one. So, if I got to go through, then it is what it is. But anyway, yeah, big shout outs to the family. I'm done now. I've talked. Big shout outs to the family. Thank you to everybody who came in and watch this show. And I look forward to the comments from those of you that will watch the playback. If you're not subscribed to our channel, please make sure that you do, because I just like to just be mature about topics. I don't feel like, I'm not a contentious, argumentative kind of person. I'm a very intelligent, sophisticated woman. And I think we can just talk about it. To me, black men and women that are, fleeing their homelands in search for love while not even entertaining their own components, it's defective. People have issues, and just picking up and getting on a plane don't change who you are. And if you have a lot of issues and you go to a new land and you think it's going to evaporate, you're crazy. If you think you can find love in the red light district, or for the ladies that are coming here and, they're picking up young gentlemen, or picking up, these toy boys, that's what we call them here. If you're willing to do these same things wherever you are at, you could get it. If you want a trick in the UK, you can get it. You can get yourself a big booty girl. You just start tricking on her. Go ahead. You can get it. You want to get you a toy boy. You want to get yourself a man who's 30 years younger than you, just go on. If you want to pay to play, so be it. Just know your role. Know what you're getting into. Understand, if you stop paying, you stop playing. Understand that. The people don't really love you. They didn't meet you a week ago and really love you. Okay? One thing about these people in foreign lands, they understand that there's an exchange. They understand. They want something for you, so they have to give you something too. They need to sweet talk you. They need to wine and dine you. They need to give you good sex. They need to have, 6-packs. They know that, okay, for me to attract somebody who's going to ultimately do something for me, I need to have some of those things to attract them. So just understand the pay to play relationship. And if you happen to be a passport bro and you're doing sex tourism, then you shouldn't throw stones on black women that are doing the same thing. Because that would be a double standard. All right, family. Let me hear from you in the comments on the playback. Until we meet again, stay black and true. If you ain't black, just stay true.